rise and shine. I'm ready to shoot my shot like it was gunplay. You heard from the rest, now hear the words from the best. Who has the character and caliber of Ned Teresh? Something about me on Monday. And when we meet, your only homework from last week is to be elite. You be discreet about the things we build upon when we speak. Dot your I's and cross the T's and be complete to reach a peak. Something about me on Monday. And when I rise to flourish, my mind is nourished with words to help me find the courage to stay on my higher purpose even when I get nervous. This is sort of like a church for us because it's about the service. Something about me on Monday.
What up, world? What's up? Uncle Precious, the Monday jump off number 153. Before I begin, I would like to shout out some sponsors, some people I know, some businesses that I really like, and just some great brands. So we have MezuRockCreations.com, and all this stuff you can find in the description. Pick up your US cards today. They just dropped. Phenomenal game. You know, the goal is to topple Uno, compete, and just grow and be our absolute best, our best brand, cultural best brand for the people. Next is we have Portal. Use access code BELITE for 15% off all your products and services. We have Red Feather Wellness out in Connecticut for your lymphatic drainage and just woman counseling. We have EAB Consultants with Sister Ia. She's just dope. Works with equality and diversity in different businesses, and also does trips to Ghana and Africa. Awesome person to know. Comedic Wellness, you know, she will help you with your womb. Shout out to the sister Bana Set. She's doing very well, so definitely check out Comedic Wellness. Desiree Doulas out of the Carolinas, really dope sister with birthing, and we have also Medicine of Essence with massage therapy and other birthing things as far as being a doula is concerned, and just many other. Oh, can't forget Life Strength and Health. They do your colonics, they'll do your nutrition plan, you know, your plans to assist you get your organs healthy and all that good stuff that we need from time to time, right? To advance ourselves. So it feels good to be back. Had a lot of wild stuff happening last 2 weeks of the year, maybe last 3 weeks, maybe let's be for real, it was like a 5-6 week period that threw me off a little bit, and um, threw me off a little bit, but back on a horse, top of the Gregorian year, and just continuing well with this January 1st. What up, Simone? Yeah, I'm back live, back feeling good. What up? Tapson, what up? Holton Arcton. So everything is good. I picked up this really cool book called Stillness is the Key. So my goal is to read this top of this year, finish this by the end of this month, close to it, and just enjoy it, not to speed through it, but just to really enjoy it. And we're just getting back into this Monday groove. So I kind of like this night groove on a Monday, but some days it might be earlier, right? But I do kind of like this evening thing. So if you want me to start jumping on back at like 4 o'clock in the morning, let me know. But I like the night because I got people in the chat. And we can just chop it up because this is just like a recap, right? So I'm just recapping everything. 2023 was interesting for sure. Yeah, for sure, Simone. I'll let you know how it is when I started, but it's definitely looks like a good book. It's the guy who wrote the book about courage, right, and just discipline in itself. And I believe he also wrote the book "The Obstacle Is the Way." So you know, shout out to Ryan Holiday. I like the way he puts the Stoic philosophy in a way that you know you can grab it, kind of thing. Yes. So 2023 recap. Musically, it was the 50th year of hip hop, so I was really excited about that. Gave some of y'all some of my favorite albums of all time, from Nas, Illmatic, and It Was Written to The Great Adventures of Slick Rick to Moment of Truth by Gang Starr. Um, the Comb album by why can't I figure out their name right now? Blowout Comb. They did the song Cool Like That. I just can't. Diggable Planets. Just so many other dope albums came out over the 50 years of hip hop. And most importantly, I just like what I saw. You know, it would have been dope to see KRS One at the Grammys. I know, he had his own reasons why he didn't want to participate with that. And I respect him as a man. But, like if Rakim is there and Kane is there, I definitely wanted to see KRS there. Like as a fan, I felt like a bit let down by that though. But I understand his reasoning. But just like as a fan of the art of the music, to have Kane and Rakim and I believe even Slick Rick and LL was there. Like those are his peers, right? So it would have been really dope if KRS One was there. And shout out to my people, Elena out of FIT. She did the 50th year fashion thing, and just she dropped a dope book of just how hip hop and fashion has changed the whole world, right? So it's just like a New York South West Coast thing, Midwest. It's literally changed the whole world. Just style, from everything, from here to Korea, from here to China, from here to Japan, from here to Europe. It's just navigated the earth. So I was really excited. I remember when it drops and everybody's like, this is a fad, because they don't create new beats. They just use riffs of other songs. So I don't think people understood the concept, but technically all they did was just take Gil Scott Heron, and add a deeper bass line to it and put the words together and just talk about the environment. And I think that was very cool and witty, especially for my era, my genre growing up. Because you're seeing the crack era. You're seeing what drugs did to the community, and what drugs did to people's morals, right? It's really hard to tell a 15-year-old in a sob anything, so it was just a lot. So like hearing that perspective and being of it, and you're just like, wow, that's real. So I was really excited. 50 years of hip hop. Glad we made it. I'm glad we made it, and I wish for it 50 years more. I know a lot of people complain about the art and what they see. I see, Rolling Stones did that monkey nonsense about the, artist of the year, because the owner of Rolling Stones, the magazine, I don't think he cares too much for Black people's artwork, right? Like, and I guess that's his right because it's his magazine. But we don't trust the Rolling Stone for our hip hop anyway. So you can say whoever's hot, and I'm not gonna say the young lady's trash. It's not my kind of music. I wouldn't even associate myself with a woman who with that kind of world view. So you got to always have that type of parameter and boundary for yourself, just as what you put in your own brain. So I get the tactics, right? Because certain things is just destructive tactics. All the good albums that came out, we had Killer Mike, we had Nas, it was, and just a lot of other good artists that come out. And you're talking about, Sexy Red get the Artist of the Year. It's kind of wild. It's just really wild. But that's always been kind of the thing in the rap genre, per se. That's why when The Source was The Source magazine, and they were giving you like that raw hip hop, that honest opinion, and an honest thought before it just defunct itself. Just, it's cool. You listen to whatever you want. And I still hope that lady, I hope Sexy Red getting paid. You know what I mean? We all got to get paid, because I guess that's just the American way. And to a degree, everybody that lives in America is a capitalist to a certain degree. It's just how this society is set up, and that's probably not going to change. So get your money, sis. But you definitely did not produce the top hip hop song or album for that year. You know, if anything, I'm gonna go with Big Glorilla if I gotta decide, right? Because I like her style actually. Like her style. It's rough. It's Memphis. It's real South. It's cool. I think she's dope. Yeah. So that's that with the hip hop. My Us cards came out. Mezu Rob, my clan, we dropped Us. So this year, just really trying to promote that, trying to get that to like 5,000 to 10,000 sales. Yeah, yeah. Of course, we like Big Glow, Rilla. Like I like Shorty's style. I'm telling you, like if Shorty read a book, like just any book, like she has the magnetism and charisma. She just add a little more to her wordplay. She'll she'll skyrocket. She'll like go beyond. You know, but you know everybody's journey is different. But as I was saying, uh, big up to the clan. Yeah, so we got the Us card games, the Mezu Rock clan, my crew, business team, and yeah, just you know if we can just move 10,000 units, you know, 20,000, 100,000, a million units. But first things first, just want to get to our first thousand sold. And, you know, we're scratching away, clawing away at that. And once that happens, the sky's the limit, I feel. And then we can drop, you know, I'm working on the board game right now. So the name of the board game will be coming soon. I don't want to take anything away from us, but just know that you know we got other things, and then McCurdy got something coming in the mix. So it's just gonna be a good 20, you know, end of 2023, going in 2024 with the us cards, and you know 2025, 2026, you know, with the board game. So we just go do everything, piece it all together and just come through, you know? So I'm just really excited to experience this process. You know, my energy was low about it for a while because it's just, you know, it's that hibernation season, right? Like trying to hibernate, trying to get yourself together, get your feet underneath yourself. So a lot of the times, even just to finish the you know, the 365 days of movement. And this year we got a leap year, so it'll be 366 days of, you know, writing our thoughts. And I'm going to get into that in a little bit. It was just really tough, you know, the last 6 weeks. Some family stuff. Then, you know, my cousin gets murdered. It was wild, but you know, we get through it. Get murdered by his girlfriend, and gotta assist a little bit with that, and you know, funerals. It's just, you know, just trying to stay as consistent as possible, you know. But then I realized, truthfully, to be consistent, you know, I needed to rest my nervous system. So even being on this digital platform type of thing, it's a lot harder when you're going through things. But I only missed like 2 weeks, so that's not bad. 2 weeks out of like 2.5 years straight, basically 3 years straight, and I can live with that just to rest and handle family issues, and most importantly, just to really enjoy life, to look back and be like, wow, what I've accomplished. You know, the team I built at my gym, my own physical fitness, my Brazilian Jiu Jitsu has improved. You know, shout out to my coach, Dan Koval. We'll be moving to our new facility later sometime this year in Manhattan. So it'd be good to be closer again. And I'm just really excited for my coach. You know, my first school flooded. No, yeah, our first school got hit with COVID. We were at the world famous WAP. Shout out to crew, Phil Nurse, the world famous Phil Nurse, and always a gentleman and the great hospitality. Also, shout out to Professor Babs that was doing the other Brazilian Jiu Jitsu program. Babs is really good. You've seen Babs in movies, actually, and he's one of the first black belts under. I have to get back to that. I don't want to say the wrong professor, but he's like the first in NYC. It's a black man to receive his black belt from this particular master jiu-jitsu expert, jiu-jitsu coach. And, shout out to him. He was always a gentleman with me and taught me different things. And, I always appreciated him. So getting back to my coach, though, the boogeyman of jiu-jitsu, I'm just really happy and proud to see his consistency and getting through. We lose the spot at the WAC due to COVID. And then we just training in his basement of his house. And then we get a place in Newark. In Hoboken. And then that place gets burnt down because some meth heads was just smoking, set it on fire. But now this story gets wild. Our new school burns down. Like, we literally only have it for like 4 or 5 months, maybe 4 or 5 months, 6 months tops, and gets burned completely down. Inside it's this super big warehouse building, multiple floors, multiple doors. It's wild. But we only went up to our area to train that was inside of a CrossFit gym. So they had a strip club, a hidden strip club on the inside. They had like a meth lab way at the other end. It's just wild what they say they found inside this warehouse in Hoboken. Like, it took like 4 or 5 blocks, the entire warehouse. It was just huge. But what they found inside of it was just wow. All these like breakaway walls, like secret apartments. Like, it was just wild. Like, you just never know. But I always tell people, when you're in like New York City or the Northeast and you see all these buildings and high rises and warehouses, you just never know what's going on in there. And so that place gets burnt down, gutted. That was it. That was the Mortal Kombat finish. So now, been between 2 gyms. So my coach been going between 2 gyms in Newark, New Jersey, and in Manhattan on 72nd. And I just salute him because I don't think we give people credit for their passion and their consistency to train their students and to make a way for their students to train and continue to train underneath them. And you just got to tip your hat off. So I'm really happy we got this new news coming. We'll be able to be in one location now. And we'll have morning classes, afternoon classes, and evening classes. So I can start training once again, like 4 to 6 times a week, because that's just how I like to train, predominantly 6 to 7 times a week on a good week. So I'm just really excited about, the team, the Black Magic squad getting back together in Manhattan. So, shout out to my coach, Dan Koval, just really excited and happy for your success in the future. What else I wanted to touch, just to recap? Same old same. We're about to go through the hustle, the political American hustle about presidents and who did what, who not doing what. But I did find certain things interesting, like, and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but definitely, message me and set me straight. I do find it funny how the Democratic Party in certain states are trying to block Donald Trump from running, right? Like, that's just kind of wild. In a democratic society, if not convicted, you can't really block anybody from running for president as long as they have the money, right? Technically, we live in a plutocracy, but that's a whole different thing. different thought, different rabbit hole. I thought that was wild. Like I don't think I've ever seen this happen in American history. So I just want to take note of that. Like certain states have been trying to block him from getting on the ballot. And whether you like a person or not, that's why you vote. But to be able to block somebody that's supposed to be able to get on the ballot and they can't, just interesting. That's all. And that goes down a deeper totalitarian rabbit hole that I don't like to touch on, but I just want to put it out there. So if you got any information on if this ever has happened before, please send it over to me. And yeah, let's get the documentation. So, or if you have a better understanding what they're doing than what I'm understanding, then definitely get that over to me. Let me see. Hold on, somebody hit me up. Now, dude had Congress on the ground when they stormed the Capitol. Listen, the Capitol thing was wild, but them folks gonna folk out regardless, right? like it's. But even though that might be true, he hasn't been convicted for anything, right? So even though he had the apes coming out the zoo, that's basically what we were seeing with the Capitol thing, a lot of monkey nonsense. Even though the apes came out of the zoo to storm the Capitol, if he's not convicted, he can still run though. I thought you can only not run if you are convicted, not facing charges, but you have to be convicted, And I mean like real charges, like 100 charges. They saying he has 100 charges. I don't know about that. Like you got 100 charges, should have been convicted for at least one. So that's all what I'm saying. Like I'm not saying he should be president, or I'm not saying he will be president. I'm just saying like we have to always be careful of how things are done or how things are put in order because it all trickles down, right? Everything's a trickling effect. It's like oh, so that leads me into that. Like Jonathan Majors, right? How do you have in New York City a black DA that allows another black person, even if it's just a famous or just a famous person, a rich person? But I want to talk about the race dichotomy of it though. Forget that. You have a black person as a DA, black celebrity. This person pushes a woman into the car and then runs 7 New York City blocks to get away from this white woman. She chased him like she did not want him to leave with Harriet Tubman the night before. You know what I mean? Harriet then came the night before. And it's wild that he was able to get one charge and maybe possibly sitting in jail for trying to put her back into the truck when she attacked him in the truck and made him run away. That rabbit hole go deep. And my mind, and I could be, I'm not wrong on this. I've studied enough black history. I can sit 10 toes down and debate anybody on this particular topic. Somebody said the text message is what got him. All right, that's fine, but I just find it weird that a DA would let a misdemeanor like that even go through the system. That's what I'm saying. Like, in the way it looked, are you saying that a black man cannot defend or a black woman cannot defend him or herself against a white person, friend or foe, and then try to run away and not be convicted of being the aggressor when the person was the aggressor? That's the rabbit hole I look at, because everything in America is law. if one thing passes, it always trickles down. And what trickles down to the person with no money at all or no community at all, it's always going to be way worse. That's just my thought about that, because now it's on the books. You could hit somebody with possibly getting 1 year for just defending their self, especially against another group. So, you know, black people are not a protective group. So if you say you're defending yourself against a protective group, white women has always been a protective group in America. So person jump on me, now I'm gonna choke them out. Like like I'm not letting anybody jump on me. I'm sorry, that's crazy. I don't want to even use myself. But a person jump on somebody with no self-defense awareness, and they just want to run away, and they push the person off, and they run 7 New York City blocks. Like, people don't realize how long a New York City block is, and you run 7 blocks, and this person chases you. And that person, none of their evidence gets used in court. Video evidence. This person beat themselves to make the bruises on their body. None of this gets used. This person even has the cops arrest them for the aggression that they're doing. And the person that has no record gets all the blame. It's wild. You gotta think about that. Think about how that rabbit hole go. I think about certain things. But you know me, always God level. If you right and righteous, stand 10 toes down on whoever. That's it. Don't matter what it is. If you're not doing nothing wrong, you never gotta, it's always better to be judged by 12 than carried by 6. So that's always going to be the motto, at least for me. I can't speak for other people, but yeah. It's an interesting rabbit hole that now that's on the books. So I do wonder how that affects future things. Future, hey, leave me alone. Get back here, Toby. You know what I mean? How that goes. So law is just a different way to look at it. That's just how I seen it. And just now that's just what it is. It ain't how I seen it. It's just what it is. And I understand that, due to who he decided to date, he wouldn't get protection, from the sisters of his clan. And I get that. But still, to agree with a wrong because he decided to date outside of the group, it's still dangerous to the group. That's all what I'm saying. I'm not saying anybody got to wave the Jonathan Majors flag, but let that man be king. That's just how I feel. Let that man be king. You know what I mean? No, Simone, I love that. Yo, he told her, he told that woman, you need to be like Michelle Obama, Oprah. I love that though. Like, who more reserved, intelligent, and classy in the past, let's just say 8 years, 10 years, than Michelle Obama? I wait. That woman's world class. She's definitely world class woman. No doubt about that. And her book is great too. If you haven't read her book, check it out. Yeah, she's dope. She's a dope woman. So I get what he's saying. He's just trying to give her examples, but it's just, he was supposed to be like, yo, boo, you got to be like Meryl Streep. You know what I mean? You got to mention like Meryl Streep. What's the sister with the great? What's the one with the great voice? She sung the song for Titanic. What's her name? Oh man, she sung the classic song for Titanic. Well, anyway, yeah, Celine Dion. He was supposed to tell her, yo, you gotta be like Celine Dion, Meryl Streep. to be next to me, act like you got some class, you know, like then it makes better sense, you know. But he's saying the same thing, like if you remove the race dichotomy out of it, he's just saying, yo, he wants a respectable woman, he wants a reserved woman. Where his career going, his woman needs to be intelligent and classy. That's basically all he was saying. But he definitely should have said, yo, you gotta be like Meryl Streep to be around me, Celine Dion. You know, he should, you know, like he gotta give like Sarah Michelle Gellar, Cindy Crawford. There's a few people he could have threw out there, you know, but to be like Michelle Obama and the other sister he mentioned is funny. It's funny, and that goes to show that that double sidedness. But I don't want to get into that, you know. Right, you got to have somebody who can hold water when going high, and I think you see that, and so that builds right into the Cassie and Diddy joint, which is wild, you know, wild. Well, you know, all these allegations, because that's just what they are. They're allegations. They haven't been proven, or you know, and they haven't been. He hasn't been convicted of anything. So it's 100% allegations against Puff. You know, Cassie, when she was running with Puff and she living in the mansions and she wearing a Versace and in the Gabbana, and you know she can barely hold a note over dope beats. You know, she could hold water. You know, she was okay. Allegedly, with cars being blown up, allegedly people being hung over balconies, allegedly people's shoulders being disconnected. You know, allegedly people being beat up and all that other stuff. A lot of alleged stuff. Allegedly okay with the threesomes or whatever goes on. I don't really like to get into people's bedroom because what people do, they do. And there's people who just don't do what other people do. And that's just life. But as you go up, like if you can hold water during that, but then when you get with a man who don't make those millions or whatever, I think a lot of stuff becomes a form of extortion. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm not saying people shouldn't have retribution for it, but yeah, it's just kind of wild. You know, the money run out, and then you know stories got to come out, or your version of the stories got to come out, or your ad lib to the stories come out. It's like because it's just lawyers, right? At the end of the day, it's just what lawyers do. Lawyers create the narrative, the best narrative for their client. So the lawyer just be like, oh, he just slapped him? Nah, we gonna say he pistol whooped him. Oh, he just told him he gonna break his arm. He broke it. You know, like you, it's just what lawyers do. You know, you know. Nah, but they gonna cut that check. You know, when you look, he a billionaire. He gonna cut the check. He gonna cut the check. He gonna cut the 30 because it's just gonna save him time. Taking her to court for defamation, and then you got to deal with public opinion. And public opinion, a lot of the times, is what win these cases. So he gonna cut the check. And I'm not saying anybody is guilty or innocent. I'm not touching really into that. I'm just going into what my brother West said about as you go up, you got to have people that can hold water. She said, she even used this, allegedly, he would put his pistol in her purse. And she said, you know, that was a form of patriarchy she couldn't handle. I go, what? Like, I know a lot of guys who carry, when a woman has a particular purse, the gun is in the purse. That's regular 1970, 1960 flow. That's just what be happening. But yeah, like the Cassie Diddy thing is another thing that's been wild. That was really wild in 2023. But you know, he's a bad boy. So however y'all want to explain it, express it, the man lives his frequency, right? Like he going like, yo, I'm a bad boy. I hang people off a thing, your car get blown up. It's just what it is, allegedly. And Yeah, like for me, those stories didn't make me go like, oh wow, Puff is who he is. You know, he's always demonstrated a certain level of hyper superiority over other people, and he only seemed to respect people he deemed as equal. So anybody like that, you give them power, you know, because when you give a man money, that demonstrates his character, 100%. Like how he gonna be, how he gonna act, how he treat everybody, and that's you know, because living in America, you know, money is power to a certain degree, but character is longevity, right? Character gives us the ability to age well, sleep well, and not have to worry about too much, and be you know, the heart for the people. Same opposite of a woman. Same thing can happen to a woman. You have the sister at Facebook, diversity. You know, she in the diversity group. I forget her name, and she basically setting up incompetence. So all right, so basically what she was doing, she was practicing a form of fraud. So she's about to serve 5 years in jail because she's actually convicted for this. This isn't no alleged. So one of the highest paid sisters who does diversity for Facebook, um, or Meta, right? It's Meta. She was caught stealing, basically, committing fraud. So she's definitely on the low end, making maybe like 200K a year. On the high end, she's probably doing like 350 to 400K. That's good money. But that doesn't mean she wasn't living paycheck to paycheck. But I don't know her living or her money standard. So I ain't gonna touch that. But when I see people do crime, I'll be like, why are you doing crime? Because crime, if you're gonna do it, it's normally a necessity thing. It's not something unless you're just criminally minded. You know, you got that crime filth about yourself. And that's a whole different rabbit hole. Um, so she was setting up like businesses, say like her cousin Ray Ray made like fish tacos, right? She will get the what's that? My mind is slipping tonight. She would get the contract. She would get the contract for the 20. Let's just, I'm just using these numbers. I don't know the exact numbers of anything that dealt with that case. So she will get the contract. Say she gets a $30,000 contract for a food gallery. She'll hit up Ray Ray, who doing, not only was she contacting people doing below average work, you know, so she wasn't even diversifying it with like high end people she know that's black or brown or whatever circle she running. She was going like super below average. That was her family and friends, and getting them like $30,000 contracts, $50,000 contracts. So to get that, she'll be like, yo, I got this $30,000 contract. Give me like 10,000 off of it. So not only was she getting, she's paid, you know, to be the diversity person at Facebook, which is very important, by the way. Like her job was super important. Like she kind of felt the mission. And then they'll give her a kickback. So that's like fraud. That's business fraud. Like you can't be like, hey, here's this $80,000 contract, but you gotta give me 40,000. So she was getting paid not by Meta and also by the people, her friends and family that she was setting up. You see what these different rabbit holes that's happening. So all this time, since the 80s and 90s or what have you, 2000s, I've been working. We've always needed point people in certain industries and certain executive roles to get us through. Um, so when you demonstrate a failure like that, I just feel like, yo, you failed all of us. And don't come in here and be like, oh, we should have our own, blah, blah, blah. Listen, you can't do business on a base level. You just can't do business even if you with your own, right? Even when you're trying to help your own. So that hurt us. That's another rabbit hole. Because now these corporations, I'm pretty sure they're going to be looking at all the diversity people let's retract these contracts. Let's read like it's cost a shift. That's all what I'm saying. Like sometimes I'll be talking about on here everything we do, we're accountable for the next person that knows us. And I know everybody think we live in this I do me. But you doing you, if you cool with me, may affect me by you doing too much of you. You understand what I'm saying? Like we're all accountable to each other in this tribe, the tribes we have, or the tribes we're a part of, just by default. And I was really looking at that, like, wow, sis, how you lose that job? Like you worked your whole career, graduate, top of your class, um, put in a position where you can really help dope black people that do good business. Like I'm just using myself, like, yo, I got the US cards, like, yo, I can send you over my contract, like, hey, maybe on Facebook only, we can do like the digital version. Like, you had the opportunity to really position dope people, and you still choose to, like, you spend so much time on your career to still keep a degenerate mind frame. That's a character thing. So it don't matter the money you have or the opportunity you have. If the character is messed up, it spoils the whole bunch. It's going to mildew everything. So you see where I'm going with these different recaps. How a lot of it just depends on the character, like how you have that opportunity. It's fine to help your friends, right? Do business, set up your cousin Ray Ray, especially if he's doing okay, not below average. Look, don't set up nobody that do below average anything. Period. Don't even walk next to people who just live below average. Definitely you have to differentiate yourself. But people doing B work, even high C+ work, set them up with a small contract, see what they can do, allow people to grow. Like she had the opportunity and the money backing her to really assist a lot of black people. That's an epic fail. And now you got to do 5 years and lose your career, meaning you can never go back to banking, never go back. Like, whatever, like, yo, she's going to be a genius walking around here with really nothing to do, meaning like she'd have to research herself. But you ain't going, no investor's going to invest in somebody that committed fraud like that. Like, that's just what it is. So in like 5 years, we're gonna have like a sister who's a genius working at like Target. There's nothing wrong with working at Target. She should just be running Target. You understand? Like that's the stuff that hurt me. Like a lot of these stories hurt me in different ways. Cause you go like, man, that rabbit hole, you open up a whole nother abyss of other things that are just affecting people that look like you. It's just kind of how that's going. So moving right along, I don't really, yeah, moving right into it. I was really thinking about the whole racial dichotomy paradigm in America. Yeah, I'm kind of off of it. I'm kind of off of it. Like I think about my life and I'd be like, wow, I'm black religion, a lot of black friends, black daughter, black business, black celebrities, black jeweler. See where I'm going? Like culturally, I'm sound, so I ain't gotta go through the whole. This group don't like me. This group don't understand me. These people over here who I never know, don't want to travel to their country, do do bad emails about us and bad news, whatever about us. Like to a certain point, at certain points of your life, you just gotta know when you God, and you just gotta live accordingly to that, to your own divinity. That's what I'm saying. Like, but like I feel like every election year, one of the some black young man or black woman is gonna be deleted off this earth by some cop FBI, CIA, that's Ku Klux Klan and hiding out through that badge. And then the whole gambit start again. Then they go bring out hate crime against that group. It's on the Sky Rise, and then the hate crime against this group because they're going to the war over there with that group is on the Sky Rise. And when you start realizing, like, it's a hustle, like it's all a hustle. It's such a strategic hustle to keep people, because human beings are tribal, so it keeps you in that vacuum of me versus them, to the point that we're losing a lot of human resource, a lot of human willpower, a lot of human intelligence on things. Yes, they matter to a degree, but there's just more to existence than just that, if that makes sense. Especially when you know who you are. Like when you know who you are and you live how you're supposed to live and you think with that mind, you're perfectly fine with another human being being another human being, because you're your own divine force and you got your own community. You're doing your own damn thing. Like, the words of others don't mean anything, unless the words is going to assist the group you're a part of moving forward. Then we can talk. But all that, like, all their own psychological myths, or their we don't want to be around that group, that's fine. Cost you nothing, pay me no mind. But I'm on my grind, cousin. Ain't got time for fronting. Sensitive thugs, they all need hugs because they'll put the thug on us, but then they do thuggery too. It's wild. But that election cycle here, and we're about to see the same thing, where police shootings, a lot more Karen videos jumping out, and the whole nine. It's like 3, 2, 1, go. Watch. Soon as February hit, it's probably like middle January. Something going simmer up, boom, and then it goes right into the whole, black man versus black woman. Neither one protects each other. In my community, black man, black woman, we like this. We good. We run tight. I don't know about you other black people in on y'all side with y'all tribe and y'all were your spiritual practice that might not be culturally your own. I don't really know what's happening over there. Or your spiritual practice that you haven't really inculcated and dedicated to your internal frequency, because it is always frequency we dealing with, like character frequencies, disciplines, you know. But this whole, so you're going to see that happening, and then I really just want to end the whole weird lexicon of black man versus black women, or black woman versus black man. End of the day, everybody got work to do. Like, you can't get into a relationship and think you're getting a perfect person. I consider myself perfect, but yeah, I said it. But within that, how I live, like my discipline, how consistent I am of doing things, and how I really don't break something, it might drive you crazy. You might, as a woman, don't want to be around somebody who's like a clock. And do it with love and compassion and cool with it. But then again, I might not be able to be with the woman who go, she just float. She just float. She floating there. She's in Mexico here. She's in DC today. She's in Japan there. She's doing that. What I'm saying is, you gotta have people who kind of similar and then grow from there. But this whole thing of like what you bring to the table, like y'all better start basing people off their character and not just style, in their body, or whatever, you better base them off their heart, how they mind, how they think. You better ask real questions, real questions, and just stop trying to be out here skeeting and splashing with whoever. You better start asking who you are dealing with. You know, who you just dated or word. Listen, you date somebody I deem beneath me, you can't sleep with me, you better hang out. You know what I mean? I don't want that type of energy on me because it's a frequency war. You know what I mean? Not going to have me around those semen demons, etc., etc. Like, you got to realize everything's going to be frequency at a certain point at the highest level. Everything's going to be character. Everything's going to be the things that we do and that we don't want to do. And that's just as real as it get. So when you meet somebody who's trying to grow to be their best, they're trying to eat better, trying to think better, trying to, get off their, whatever they went through in their family within, whether it's alcoholism, sexual abuse, drug addiction, or just, learning to build up their confidence in their self. Again, from being downtrodden, learn to work with people. Relationships is about building and yielding and growing. It ain't about seeking to be right all the time. Like, people really get into a relationship just to seek to be right or to rule over another. Ain't nobody your slave. You either seeking partnership for growth, or you seeking, destruction. Meaning, a lot of men talk about polygamy, or that's been a new thing too. But you can't be a polygamist if you can't keep a monogamous relationship. Meaning, like, if you can't create something with one, it ain't no need to plug and bringing another into conflict and confusion. You know, I agree. People don't want to have real conversations to seek out the real them, besides the physical. Exactly. I'm in the fitness industry. I see beautiful women all the time. But if the mind ain't right, the heart ain't right, where we going with that? You dig? Like, it's cool. Um, yeah, so we can just leave that. I am the prize. I am the catch. Of course, everybody should think they're a catch. They're a good prize. Like, you should feel that way because you bring something to this world. You're gonna bring something to that person that's gonna elevate them and in turn elevate the both of you. Everything should be thought of as such, but it's not saying that you're the only one. Ain't nobody the Highlander of being dope. You know what I mean? Of being a catch. It's just foolishness. It's foolishness. And I guess ultimately, do women want a gynarchy? 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 There is a group of women who live like that, called Arango. You can look them up. They have a gynarchy, matriarchal society ran by women. Check them out and see if that's how you want to live. If everything is so anti-man and anti-patriarchy, just check them out. And if that's how you want to live it, live it. Create it. I'm here for it. But don't come back over here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, do your thing and let's just see where it is. Because if we're not talking about unifying the two lands into one fist, then out over here, I don't know what we're talking about when it comes to relationships. So everybody, you need to do your breath work, read, meditate, practice a certain level of stillness, journal, realize where you want to go in life, and then put out that frequency to attract that person or persons where you want to, where all of you can grow together and work from there. That's the crazy thing in life. Life is so flowing. What works for another may not work for you. What works for me may not work for you, except focusing on keeping a good character, focus on practicing your disciplines, focus on learning new things, focus on always getting better. Those things can't always make you a better person, period. Those things don't need to change. But you may have to change your thought of how your grandfather treated your grandmother or how your mother treated your father. You may have to change your thought to that, right? Especially if it wasn't good energetically, right? So that was that. Just recapping. I know I'm going long tonight, but I'm having a good time, having a real good time. So we got that. Did the relationships, what we need to stop. Oh, now I don't want to touch that. That's just they're just messy. The whole thing is messy. I don't even want to touch him either. I think he's an idiot. Yeah, so I want to get into my challenge for this year. It's a simple challenge. So last year we did our 365 days of movement. So if you want to try that for the month of January, you do 50 to 100 mountain climbers every day for the entire month of January. So I'll tell you what we'll do in February if you want to attempt it when we get to February. But starting today, January, you do 50 to 100 mountain climbers every day for the month of January. Let's see. All right, so basically, since we did the physical last year, we're going to work on the mental. So every day, starting today, or today's the second now, but we'll just keep it, just do two posts. Every day starting today, we write out a word or words or statement or vision or idea in a journal. And it has to be something thoughtful, productive, or filled with gratitude every day. And this year's a leap year, so 366. And I hope that allows you to mentally push forward and put your best foot forward. And remember, you're the king and queen of your life. Make the best of it. Let's stop wasting time, because time is the most valuable thing we have. And let's continue to build relationships. Let's continue to make amends in our relationships. Let's continue to grow stronger bonds in our relationships. Let's, walk with dignity, move with a certain level of class and grace and style and healthy mind, body, and spirit. That's all what I wish for you going into this Gogarian 2024. I'm Kapresh. It's the Monday jump off, number 153, the recap. We coming back strong. Oh, the relationship piece. Hold on. So a few Monday jump offs may be pre-recorded because I'm going to discuss the divine feminine. So I'm going to have an interview. I might do it live, some of them, but I'm going to do an interview. Married sister, I know, married woman, divorced, just dating around, and just being, right? So I want to try to get at least 4 to 8 interviews done for the divine feminine portion. Because I realized as a man, who better to explain themselves than women? And then that way we can have an understanding and a better insight so we can be better connected. So that is my goal, to get that done these upcoming weeks. The divine feminine will be interviews. So gonna have some heavy hitters, and it's gonna be a good time. I'm Kapresh, the Monday jump off, number 153. Please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll see you next Monday. Peace.